My name is Benji Kreckman. I am a fantasy author, and I have been sent to Skyrim via the request of my publisher to promote my book on a book tour. Today is day 7, and we are heading up to the top of a mountain called High Hrothgar, famous in this region for hosting some apparently very learned people called the Greybeards, who hopefully will enjoy reading a good fantasy book. I have been sent here via the Jarl, sort of. He kind of told me I have to, but I don't really work for him. It was kind of a weird, confusing situation. On the other hand, they did agree to pay for me to get to join the speaking conference, I guess, that's happening up here. So that's good news, and it was on the way. Was in Iverstead the last 2 days, and that was weird. Well, there's bigger things going on, so figured we can make it happen. So from Iverstead, started traveling up like a lot of steps. I don't know what's a big number. Maybe 20,000 steps. I mean, 10,000 steps in a day is a lot. So let's say 20,000 and assume that that's something that I did. Yeah. I'll get into that more in a minute. But I'm climbing up these steps. There are these like etched tablets all throughout. I can tell this is a place of great importance to people. There are certain people who just kind of come up and make the homage and sit in front of them and you know, all these kinds of things. Which is questionable. Like, how are they doing this? Because I'm telling you guys, I got attacked by like 20 wolves.
Keep an eye out for wolves if you're headed up the path to High Hrothgar.
Easily 20 wolves on the way up here. This was crazy. Lydia took out some, Flame Astronaut, others. I'm getting pretty good at it myself. I did loot a corpse at the bottom of a pit that had water in it yesterday that was designed to drown me. Sorry, that's a lot to take in. I'm just processing what happened. What was I doing yesterday? But I grabbed this mace from a skeleton, and I've been using it on the wolves, and that's been going really well. So that's a positive for this book tour. And then what else happens? Let's see. We're climbing up the mountain. Some parts are peaceful. Sometimes there are these rams. Until we get to this one ram, we're following him. He's cute, and then he gets stomped to death by this mountain troll. And we've had one experience with mountain trolls so far, and it was not pretty. So since oh, you know what? We got attacked by a troll, and it was the middle of the night. We were by a river. It was just us, and then all of a sudden there was a troll there. But there wasn't just a troll. There was a bodyguard there. There wasn't just a bodyguard. There was some dude who the bodyguard was for, and he just kind of watched his bodyguard get killed and then ran away. So I was pretty geared up to go pretty quickly. I summoned my Flame Astronaut, which was a good idea. Grateful for that thing. I don't know who Lydia was the first time. She didn't seem like she wanted to help me with this one, which maybe is understandable because we did see that bodyguard get beat to death by the mountain troll on like day 4. Kinda get it. So anyways, it mugged me. I don't really know what happened next, other than I woke up back at the inn in Iverstead. Which I'm telling you, Iverstead is sketchy as freak. Who came and got me? Why won't anyone acknowledge that I was attacked? I don't know. I decided to go back up the mountain, though. Kind of had a vendetta against that mountain troll, so went for it again. This time did a lot more, like, hitting it with the mace and then backing up a lot and hitting it again. We took it down. Not a big deal. Lydia was there to help this time. Flame Astronaut still did its job. Not a problem. Continued up the mountain. We're traveling. It gets snowier and snowier, and eventually we see this fortress appear around one of the bends, and we realize that's probably where the Greybeards live. That looks like a place of, repute. And so, we examine the front, and then we enter in, and there are a bunch of literal Greybeard men hanging out in their kind of foyer area. Maybe they knew we were coming, but they're all present. They're just chilling, and they're waiting. And they're like, hey, why don't you shout at us? Kind of like the guards back at Whiterun. I was like, you sure? And they're like, oh yeah, definitely shout at us. And I shouted at them, and they were like, that's sick. Let me teach you how to breaststroke. And then this one guy spends like an incredible amount of time just teaching me over and over again how to breaststroke every time I try and talk to him. And so I'm like, all right, that's okay. I thought we were, I thought this was gonna help me sell more books, and they're like, breaststroke is how you sell more books. And I'm like, I'm gonna step outside for a minute. I can step outside, I collect myself, come back in, and now he's ready to teach me some words, some stuff that the people will like, you know, just kind of how to connect with them, use language that means something to them. And so they're teaching me different shouts left and right. They take me out to their foyer and they're like, oh, we want to show you how fast we can run. And I'm like, you guys are so old. Why do you want to show me that? That's so weird. But one of them actually is like really fast. And they're like, I bet you can't like run as fast as I can. They like, you know, set me up to run it. And so I'm going to try and sprint. I start sprinting and they close the gate on my face. Like, yeah, really, I don't understand this culture. That's what I'll say. Maybe it's just old men having a laugh. Not sure. Either way, it's fine. Got through it. I don't know if I'm really better at speaking because of the occasion. No one bought a book, so that's kind of brutal. And then they also, just like the Jarl in Whiterun, tried to give me a mission. Like, they're trying to send me to another place, and I'm like, guys, I gotta get a move on with this book tour. Like, I am not staying here forever. In fact, if you're my publisher and you're watching this, send help, please. Please. We are under-equipped. I would like to have a car. Thank you. Anyways, that was my experience on High Hrothgar. Tomorrow we're going to be moving on to a place called Marthel, I think. Should be good. I don't know. Guys, if you're enjoying these videos, thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to like, subscribe, comment what your favorite part was. Oh, and also, this is a book tour. Make sure to check out some of my fantasy books if you get the chance. I'm currently producing the Graphknight comics, which are coming out, be compiled into a graphic novel at the end of the year. And then I've also written something called Demon and Witch, which is a full fantasy novel under the pen name Kirk, available on Amazon. Thanks so much.